All right, good evening, everybody. Hello and good evening. Lakeisha McKnight is here. Welcome aboard, everyone, to the Leadership TKO Live Night Show. This is Lakeisha McKnight. Welcome aboard. I am going to definitely dive into more of this great content in just a couple of seconds. I just want to allow Facebook to populate, allowing people to know that we're live right now. So I'm not going to rush too much into it, but we're gradually going to get into tonight's episode here with the Leadership TKO Live Night Show. And so it's a privilege. It truly is an honor to be before you on this Friday evening. For those of you who catch it live or the replay, again, you could be doing a bazillion other things on this Friday evening, but you've decided to tune into this podcast show. So I welcome you. I truly, truly do. And so, again, we're going to get started momentarily. Momentarily. I'm just allowing things to populate a bit. Now, with this particular show, I will tell you that we do this show every single night around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a show that's being brought to you on behalf of the iLead Company, LLC. All right? The iLead Company, LLC. And the purpose behind this podcast show that we normally do on Fridays and Saturdays, we do the audio version only. Okay, so the mission of the show and thus the company, the iLead Company, is to empower leaders like yourself with the ability to win from the inside out, growing three things: your influence, your impact, and your income. That is what we help you to grow as you tune in and plug in to the Leadership TKO brand. So there are a couple of ways that you can be involved tonight. I always like to remind people of these different ways. Number one, love the stream. Okay, if you're someone who cares about how you develop as a leader and you want that valuable content that's really going to help you to grow, love the stream. All right. Secondly, there's a comment section. So as people jump in, as they plug in, feel free to engage with these individuals because there are people who are plugging in from all around the world to tune into this particular show. So definitely interact with one another. And then lastly, of course, we do have the share feature. For those of you who are on the timeline on Facebook, you also can do a watch party. And for those of you who are connected to me by way of, being connected by way of Winner's Circle, do me a quick favor and share this into the Winner's Circle chat for me. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. That way we can allow those who are a part of a wealth team to be able to plug in and receive some inspiration. So, as I mentioned, we're probably not going to be here extremely long tonight, but I do have a special topic that I am going to address. And that special topic really has a lot to do with the workplace versus the networking space. Again, the workplace versus the networking space. Thank you so much, Donna, for sharing that. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Love you much. All right. So just a couple of things, all right. And here's the deal. I always give a disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not going to be bashing one career path versus the other career path, but I'm just going to give you some nuggets to really ponder on and allow it to kind of roll around in your mind and think deeply on it. Robert Kiyosaki, right? We know him as the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, but he also published another book called The Cash Flow Quadrant. And with this particular book, Cash Flow Quadrant, he describes four different ways that people can generate revenue and income. He says that people can either be employed, they can be self-employed, they can be business owners, or they can be investors. Now, you don't have to just be in only one quadrant. There are some people around the world who are in multiple quadrants. But these quadrants serves different purposes depending on what you desire your destination to be. So, for example, if you're a traditional individual, you were taught when you were a child to go to school, right? Go to high school, get your diploma, graduate, then go to college, get your degree or degrees, plural, okay? Graduate from college, and if you want to, you can go back to graduate school, okay? Become an expert on a particular topic. And there you have it. And after a few years, you'll be able to retire and live the American dream. Well, let me tell you, things have changed, and that's no longer the case. There are many people who are going to graduate school finding themselves still trying to find a job. Or better yet, Many of them are getting paid at a very low wage. Here is what I want to share. Now, depending on what your goal is, like if you really want to just live a good life, perhaps you want to achieve freedom. There's a difference. You see, the workplace enables you just to be able to survive. It enables you to be able to possibly pay your bills. And at some points in your life, there may even be some struggle to even pay your bills with one job. Better yet, even having two jobs sometimes is a struggle. Now, I have actually placed an image, on this particular stream for a reason, because there are two different mindsets that people may have when it comes to those who are employed or self-employed versus those who are on the right side of the quadrant, who are business owners and investors. Now, thinking about this image that you see, it's a beautiful, beautiful home. Beautiful home. Now, those individuals, right, who are employees or self-employed, in most cases, this is most cases, they're working their job, they're their own expert, and in most cases, to get a home like this, okay, and those of you who are on the podcast version, sorry you can't see it, but it's a picture of a beautiful home. To get a beautiful, beautiful home that's probably valued at over $1 million, right? Understand something. Most people who are employed or self-employed would have to probably take out a loan to be able to get a home like this. Okay? You would more than likely have to take out a loan, meaning you have to borrow money. And to try to take care of that quote unquote quote mortgage, right? You're going to be paying huge amounts of money, of course, interest and so much more to really try to pay down that house. And it may take you a while, depending on what your profession is. But let me share with you that being a part of the business quadrant, the B quadrant, right? Being a business owner or being an investor can put you in position where you can actually pay for that home with cash or with your assets. Because here is what we do know. Being a part of the B quadrant and the I quadrant, you potentially have either people that you leverage because it's involving people that either may be employed or they may be a part of a network that you're leveraging. And for those who are investors, you're actually having dollars to work hard for you. So you have a higher probability of paying for a home like that with either cash or assets. So you're not struggling to pay off a loan like those who may be employed or self-employed. You see, this is one of the huge perks of being a business owner or an investor. But here is what I do want to provide some enlightenment on. While being a part of the workplace, being an employee, here's what I do know. It can fund your dream. I'm not here to bash those who are employed. You can use it to fund, to finance, as some people say, your dream and be able to transition away from being employed to being a business owner. So if you want to be financially free, you want to be location free, you want to be time free, you want to make sure you transition into the B quadrant and the I quadrant. Now, here's the thing though. There are some other challenges that comes with being an employee, like you're taxed at one of the highest tax brackets, being an employee or being self-employed. You don't have as much control of your time, and you eventually can burn out. Okay, you can burn out before you have an opportunity to possibly enjoy your latter years after what they call quote unquote retirement. Because here's the thing, you're either going to pay the time being an employee at the very onset of your career, or you're really truly going to pay the time after you quote unquote retire. Because here's what happens. Although you think that you're going to have to stop, you're going to be able to stop working, most people find that they still have to get another job after they quote unquote retire. And not just that. Okay, you pay the price because you might have burnt yourself out and now you have to go to appointments. So you're really not retired. You really have a new career of going back and forth to the doctors. And you have to pay the price when it comes to medical bills because you've burned yourself out. So that is what, is the challenge behind this quote unquote American dream and retiring at a certain age. But for those of you who are open minded, I want to challenge you to consider being a business owner and an investor. But more specifically, there is a model of business called networking. Okay, some people call it network marketing, but it's, some different companies are not necessarily considered network marketing, but they could very well be e-commerce, right? E-commerce is an example that may not necessarily involve being a network marketing company. And I do want to share with you how network marketing, this model of business, has several perks to it. And it really outweighs any type of challenge that a person may see. Now, let me elaborate, okay? Let me elaborate. Just like, for example, you really had to give yourself time to understand your studies in college. You want to do the same thing if you decide to get into the network marketing profession, because it is a profession. You're becoming a professional network marketer. But you want to give yourself time, like my mentor would say, give yourself time to succeed. Do not expect to know everything and for success to happen overnight. You need to give yourself time. But here are some of the amazing perks of giving yourself time, a part of this amazing model of business. So, number one, you have to think about the career that you will create. Think about the career that you will create. You will be able to do what you want, when you want to, however way you want to, because it gives you that opportunity. You can shorten that span of being able to live life, right, after 40 or 50 years on a career, and you can shorten it to potentially 2 to 5 years being a part of the network marketing model of business. So you shorten that span, right? That learning span, that quote unquote freedom span, the time frame of when you can be free. So that's what this model of business can help you. Can help you have a great career and definitely be able to live a life of freedom much sooner. Okay, much sooner. And I just want you to think about that for a second. The freedom that you will enjoy. The freedom, being able to do things that you want to do with your kids without having to say, "Oh, I have to plan for that. Oh, I have to put in some time at the job for that. Oh, I can't do it because such and such is taking vacation during that week, so I have to wait for another week." You don't want to put yourself through that. You want to be able to take a vacation and go to places, do things with your kids when you want to do it and not on somebody else's terms. That's freedom. Freedom is, for example, going to the movies in the middle of the day with your children while everyone else may be at work, taking your children to the park while everyone else is at work. That's freedom. So I want you to think about the freedom that you can enjoy being a part of this industry. It is a remarkable industry. And not just think about the freedom, although that is the ultimate goal, right? To be free. There's nothing better than being free. But think about the lives as well that you would touch. Think about it. You're limited to a degree to the lives that you can touch by the restricted amount of hours working at a job. You might be at a job for like 8 to 12 hours, depending on what type of job that you have. So you're limited. You're just restricted to the certain amount of employees in that particular area for all of the time, all of those hours out of your life. But as a network marketer, guess what happens? You are able to meet people from all around the world, see people from all around the world, right? And establish new relationships constantly, because that's what we do. As a networker, you're building relationships, you're meeting new people. And so this world is so colorful. Life is supposed to be colorful, where you're meeting new people. And that's what networking enables you to accomplish. So think about the lives you will touch and be that vessel to be able to help transform lives. And it goes hand in hand with this next point, of course. I may have alluded to it, which is the people that you will meet. The people that you would meet. You see, if it wasn't for networking, how would I have met, for example, Donna? If it wasn't for networking, how would I have met people, like Debbie, right? I see Debbie listening in. If it wasn't for networking, oh my goodness, we have Lord Kingsley all the way from the UK. How in the world would I have met Lord Kingsley if it wasn't for networking? How would I have met my husband? Many of you don't know this. You're probably laughing right now. How would I have met my husband if it wasn't for networking? Because we were networking to a degree when we met. And now we are here 14 years later. Networking. Okay? Networking is powerful. Think about the people you will meet. Think about the places you will see. You see, if it wasn't for networking, I wouldn't have had the many opportunities that I've had to travel. Traveling to places like Nigeria and Cameroon and Bangkok and many other places. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to these places if it wasn't for networking. So if you want that ability to be able to travel to different places and see all that the world has to offer, networking, the network marketing model of business can be very, very helpful in helping you to get there. It is the route, it is the path to take. Okay? And here's one last point that I want to make about networking. Think about the causes that you can contribute to, the causes that you can support, whether it's helping to provide medicine and trying to help address cancer, or just helping those who are in need in other countries. Think about all these different causes. You know, the autism cause. Think about all these different things that you'll be able to contribute to being a part of this industry, because here's the thing, money will no longer become an issue. Time will no longer become an issue because you have time freedom, because you would have financial freedom. And these are the amazing perks that is afforded to you being a part of the networking space versus the workplace. You're restricted to location in a workplace being employed, but there's no restriction being a part of the networking space. And so I want to encourage each and every one of you. Think about your destination, where you want to end. Where is it that you're trying to go? What do you want to accomplish? Is it that you just want to live life day to day, pay your bills, and then pass on? Or do you want to truly live life and not just exist? And if you want to live life, I invite you to have an open mind and consider the networking space. Being involved in a home-based business. And that's, for example, what many of us people who are connected to me on social media, they are involved in a networking style of opportunity, right? They're involved in e-commerce. More specifically, they're sharing information about a money system that's helping people to become less dependent and to be able to be free from a broken money system. The system that many of you, I'm going to be honest, all of us have been born into. And you can be set free from this broken debt system and really truly live and be free. You can afford houses like the one in the preview image without having to go into debt, wanting to get it. Because a part of the networking company, or at least I should say the e-commerce company that provides the money system, when you put in the effort, you have the grand opportunity of being rewarded with a home that the company will build for you. In that home there, in that image, you see it. Hopefully you'll be around so I can invite you to come and check it out. Come and hang out with me and my husband, my family, and all of my Winner Circle family. You already know what time it is, Winner Circle. So again, which do you choose? Do you want freedom, or do you just want to live life and just exist? It's a power of choice. So for those of you who want to explore more about how to have money working for you, you want to be a part of a system whereby, everything is voluntary, but you have so much to gain with this system. A system whereby you can actually create an estate and pass it on to your children. A system that will potentially put you and your family in a position where it changes the trajectory of your homes and your family's financial life. Which choice will you make? So for those of you who are tuning in right now, listen. If someone invited you to listen into this particular audio stream tonight, I want to encourage you to get back with them and ask them about this money system. Ask them how you can get plugged in and get more information, because you will be glad that you did. You will be glad that you did. I know I'm glad. You know, my two children, who are ages 3 and 7, will not have to work a job ever if they don't want to, right? They shouldn't have to. Hopefully, they don't want to, right? Because of us being plugged into this system, they'd have that opportunity. And so you can create that same power of choice for your children. So, again, get back with the person that shared this stream with you. Ask them for more information about this amazing money system. And if you have questions about the networking space or the networking model of business, feel free to inbox me. So we look forward to being back tomorrow night around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time with another episode here with the Leadership TKO Live Night Show. I am your host, Lakeisha, once again, your leadership specialist and wealth mentor. Be sure to learn more about Leadership TKO once again by visiting www.leadershiptko.com. But until then, I encourage each and every one of you to think, to speak, and to live leadership. Good night, everyone, and God bless.